The letter proposes to make a changes to new policy at the university, in which student friends and relatives can visit in the student dormitory for no more than 3 consecutive nights. The man in the conversation wholeheartedly completely opposes the idea, because for him the policy can certainly inconvenience for others. He also mentions that he and the other student have to significantly alter their study routine to accommodate their roommates' familial visits. So that's why the university must reconsider its policy change for the sake of other students' comfort regarding their academic process. The lecture is about multiple insect species like butterflies and wasps, which is a distinctive mate location behavior that involves the preference of mating in specific location. In the lecture, the professor delves deeper into the subject by explaining that those species habit called hilltopping. He goes on to say that butterflies and wasps will climb mountains as high as 2,500 meters, and the male insects would compete with other males for territories, usually for the areas of even higher altitude, because that is a give a strong mating signal of genetic fitness. So after listening, I now have a better understanding of insects who are the top of hill have the best mating change. In the lecture, the professor explains how and why businesses establish economic connection with their customers. First, the professor talks about businesses use real stuff to talk directly with customers because people feel more comfortable with humans than with bots. The professor provides another example of social connection by discussing a woman who wanted to buy a supplement but was unsure about the product. After getting a clear explanation from the staff, she felt more confident and decided to make the purchases. In conclusion, businesses establish both social and economic connections to build trust, loyalty, and encourage repeat purchases. The reading passage announces that the university will get special funding to add more exercise machines in the campus gym. This plan is meant to respond to student complaints and encourage a healthy lifestyle. The man in the conversation completely opposes this idea because getting new machines won't really make any difference because students like to exercise in many different ways, not just by using gym equipment. He also mentioned that there are already plenty of opportunities for students to exercise on campus. So that's why he thinks the plan is unnecessary and a waste of money, since students already have enough ways to get exercise. The lecture is about the law of diminishing returns, which is mean that adding more resources eventually produce less and less extra output. The professor illustrates this concept with an example of farmer. At first, when the farmer hires more workers, production increases a lot because there's plenty of land to work on. The professor goes on to say that after a certain point, when too many workers share the same limited space, they get in each other's way and productivity per worker starts to fall. In conclusion, this shows the law of diminishing returns because adding more labor no longer increases total output effectively. In the lecture, the professor explains two major programming styles, procedural and object-oriented programming. Procedural programming is based on writing step-by-step procedures or functions that perform specific tasks, while object-oriented programming organizes code around objects that combine both data and behavior. After introducing the topic, the professor gives an example to compare them. He says that the procedural programming separates data and function, while object-oriented programming combines them in one object. The professor explains that OOP uses a person object containing both data and the method to change it. So that's why OOP is more organized and flexible than the procedure approach.